How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Introducing the non-starters for Northrop. Number 3, Ellee Ruskaup. Number 7, Skylar Myers. Number 8, Abby Whiteman. Number 10, Alicia Finley-Williams. Number 14, Kiana Price. And number 15, Katie Novack. Introducing the starters. Number 1, Sierra Weed. Number 2, Nico Morris. Number 4, Brianna Phillips. Introducing the non-starters for Carroll. Number 2, Ellee Ruskaup. Number 3, Jacqueline Quade. Number 4, Timothy Raleigh. Number 10, Ellee Ruskaup. And number 13, Makaela Lochmueller. And the starters, number 6, Ellee Ruskaup. Number 7, Jacqueline Quade. Number 8, Kate Novack. Number 9, Rachel Blitzen. Number 11, Kate Novack. Number 12, Cassie Till. And then the Heroes, number 1, Ellee Ruskaup. The Chargers are coached by Beth Husson, assisted by Tammy Sidis and Nicole Husson.
And welcome everybody to Carroll High School for today's Class 4A matchup between the visiting Northrop Bruins, entering with a 2-2 record on the season, to take on the Carroll Chargers, Class 4A, number 4 ranked team in the state, coming in with a 13-1 overall record. Carroll has won 5 straight regionals, and now joining me up here in the booth is Scott Haddix, the coach at the University of St. Francis, to watch today's match. I know, Scott, you've had a lot of chance to see these girls throughout the years, especially at All-Star Classics and things of that nature, especially when we take into consideration Jackie Quade on the court. She is a senior, and she's committed to Illinois University, so it should be a great start to the match.
Absolutely, a lot of talent out here on the volleyball court. Obviously, Carroll's a little bit deeper at this moment, but the Northrop Bruins are making a good comeback, and know a lot of those kids on both sides of this net after a 5-year stint in coaching in high school, so should be an interesting match for sure.
Well, Carroll coming off a great exhibition at the Avon Classic where they went 4-0 and did get a chance to beat Avon 2-0. Avon ranked number 5 in Class 4A, and beat Carmel 2-1. Carmel's the number 14th ranked team. The only blemish on the schedule for Carroll this year is a loss to Hamilton Southeastern. That was during the Kokomo invite, August the 22nd. Hamilton Southeastern currently ranked at number 3 in the state.
Yeah, no slouch in losing to Hamilton Southeastern. Carroll, I'm glad to see them get out of the Fort Wayne area a little bit, get down to Indy and play some really tough teams. So it's a good weekend for them down at Avon.
Well, that was Cassie Till with the serve for Carroll High School as Northrop Libero sends it over. She is Kelsey Bear. Big hit, just a little bit long. Point goes to Northrop. That was a hit by Kate Novack, who leads, well, excuse me, she's second on the team with 140 kills, 36 aces.
She's a very talented player. There's a lot of coaches that want her to come play. We got to figure out how to convince her to not go in the sand.
Now with the serve for Northrop, that was number 2, Nico. That was a huge kill right there for the Lady Chargers.
It's going to be a busy night for anybody that plays defense for Northrop. They're a little bit undersized in the front row compared to Carroll, so defensive specialist, libero, is going to have to be ready to get on the floor and keep the ball alive.
That was Ellee Ruskaup, the libero for Carroll with the serve. Huge block at the net, a combo block there with Jackie Quade on the outside, number 8 on the inside. Now the set goes to number 8, Katie Claxton. Point, Lady Chargers.
Yeah, Katie did a really excellent job, ran hard on the approach, and then just took a nice soft shot over top of the outstretched block.
Ellee Ruskaup, she is just a sophomore at 5'6", the libero for Carroll. She leads the team with 114 digs as that shot is just a bit long by Sierra Weems, the senior at 5'9". Weems has some good size, coach, for an outside hitter there for Northrop. We'll keep an eye out on her during this match. Ruskaup taken in the back row by libero Bear. And a beautifully placed shot right there for the Lady Bruins as the score is 3-2 right now. Northrop down by 1.
Both teams trying to figure each other's offense out, each other's defense out. So right now, anything soft and in the middle seems to be scoring points. We'll see if that trend continues.
Number 15 for Northrop, back to serve. Do not have her on the varsity roster, as that's going to be bumped to the outside, Jackie Quade. And it looks like we had a Lady Bruin into the net right there, Coach.
Yeah, they got Claxton on four touches. The Carroll Chargers on 4. Official considered that ball not to be blocked by the blockers, but by the net. So point to Northrop.
And we are tied up at 3. Quade with another big hit, nicely picked up by number 6, Abigail Bowman. Point does go to the Lady Chargers.
Yeah, lot of offense coming at Northrop, and they're going to be out of system quite a bit tonight, so I'm sure Scott had his girls work on some out of system offense getting ready for tonight's match. And
that was the senior Emma Ruskaup, who has 409 assists. She is the setter for the Lady Chargers, but the point will go to Northrop on that one.
Miss Weems just powered that ball through the block, a little soft block by the right side, and got off her hands in front of her in the net.
Number 9 to serve is Taylor O'Reilly, a junior at 5'10.5" for Northrop. Beautifully placed dump shot for the point.
Again, sell it with the approach and then roll that ball over top into the hole in the middle. Northrop sitting on their heels a little bit. I think they're a little bit ready for Carroll to just smoke the ball down into the court, and so they're sitting back a little bit and can't adjust to the soft arm swing.
Carroll with a big matchup this Thursday against Class 1A number 11 Blackhawk Christian here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Quade with the jump serve. Nice nosedive there at the end. Another double block there with the attempt by Sierra Weems. Weems this time
throws it off the antenna. Point goes to Carroll Chargers.
So it's 6-4 your score right now with Carroll on top. Quade once again with the serve. Coach, she committed to the University of Illinois. I believe it was after her sophomore year. Just had all the Big Ten schools looking at her, along with Florida, who back then was ranked at number 2 in the nation. 7-4 your score, Carroll.
All right, Illinois has done a nice job picking up some local Fort Wayne talent over the last couple of years. They're doing a nice job in the Big Ten. The Big Ten is the hottest conference in the country right now, so it's good to see some Fort Wayne kids going to play at that level.
Nice hit at the net. That's number 10, Ari Bollinger, a sophomore at 5'9", an outside hitter. Coach, this Carroll volleyball team has really come into their own about the last 5 years. They've won 5 regionals in a row.
Yeah. It's again, you know, it's a process. It's a growing process. They have a lot of talent, a lot of kids playing, a lot of high-level club. And Doug's just got a really nice system with his coaching staff, Matt McCarter and company, and they just keep pumping out winners.
And a big swing and a kill for Kate Novack, the senior at 5'9". Coming into today's match, Kate Novack, she's committed to play at Georgia State, Coach, where she's going to play beach volleyball, not regular volleyball, but beach volleyball.
I wish her the best. I wish her a ton of success, and I'm so sad and disappointed. She's a young lady we watched at the junior-senior all-star game last year down at Indianapolis, and she's a kid we went and talked to a little bit, and we really were interested. But it was pretty apparent she was going someplace warm where she could play in the sand. And I'm excited that she's going to get to go do that. And I think she'll have a lot of success there.
Rachel Klitzing, just a junior, but already committed to Butler, Coach, and she was voted the most improved player heading into this season.
Yeah, if you got to see her play last year as a sophomore, you knew great things were coming her direction. And, you know, that again, it just speaks to the depth of the program that Doug has built here with Maple Creek and Carroll Middle Schools. They just got these kids playing really well at an early age, and it just shows on the court.
Another big hit there by the Northrop senior, Sarah Weems. Coach setting it up to her is Nico Morris, and she's one of the top players in the area coming back. You know, she's a senior.
Yeah, Nico's got does a great job as a setter. Understands offensive systems pretty well. Can attack the ball out of the right side for being a little bit undersized, and works really hard. Great hands. Not enough nice and positive things you can't say about Nico.
Jackie Quade on a bit of a run here as the Lady Chargers are up 11-4. Another big swing by Weems, and that one falls in for a point. Coach, she just keeps going after it, and certainly sooner or later one is going to fall.
Yep. A little one-dimensional in the Northrop offense, but ball control needs to be a little bit better so they can get some more attacking options going. See if they can confuse Carroll just a little bit.
Set goes to the outside, and a huge kill by number 10, Ellee Bollinger.
Yeah, and there's why she's going to Butler.
Back to serve it now will be number 8, Katie Claxton. Katie leads the team with 29 blocks. She is a senior at 6'1".
Yeah, she's going to be a heck of a ball player for somebody at the next level. Somebody that we'd like to see if we can get to come to St. Francis and play a little volleyball for us, but only time will tell.
She's listed as a middle blocker, as that's going to be bumped out of bounds. Score now is 14-5, Carroll on top. Coach, big matchup coming towards the end of the season here in the middle of October, as they always play when Concordia this year will travel to Carroll. Concordia with a lot of depth. You know, they lose Tiana Williams, but they brought back a bunch of super players.
Absolutely. Erica Shively headed out to IPFW. They got Kara Bowersock setting the ball. Miss Wright hitting the ball on the outside also. That's going to be a match for everyone to come watch. If you don't have anything to do on that night, this is where you should be.
And that was Bollinger once again with the kill. Only a sophomore is number 10. Claxton. Good job by Nico Morris keeping it alive. Always a tough play into the net. Morris with a beautiful says that is blocked out of bounds, so the point will go to Northrop. That was number 6 with the big hit, Abigail Bowman. Abigail, just a sophomore, 5'8", an outside hitter. Coach, she's also listed as a U. Is that a utility position?
I'm going to go that route. I'm not sure what they mean by that. But, hey.
Kelsey Bear with the service error, 16-6. Chargers up by 10.
That's where you got to find a way with a team like Carroll to put them under some sort of pressure. And that's not easy to do with the competition they've played. But serving is definitely a skill that you control. And if you can create some disharmony in the Carroll offense, then you have a chance. But Northrop's been unable to do that so far tonight.
The set with the Klitzing there with the kill. So we do have a timeout right now, going to be called by Northrop coach Scott Shipman, as his Lady Bruins are down by 11 right now, 17-6. Once again, the coach of the Carroll Chargers is Doug Helsum. Carroll coming off a very productive season a year ago, but coach, a lot of people thinking this might be their year. Obviously, with Tiana Williams leaving Concordia, might be the year for Carroll to get that W against the Lady Cadets. And now with Concordia in 4A, they may see each other, most likely will see each other, if not a sectional or regional.
Yeah, and 4A is so loaded, it is so talented. It doesn't matter if you go south right now towards Indianapolis, if you go out and you head west over near Valparaiso and up into South Bend area. There is so much depth at 4A. If you were asking me who was going to win 4A right now, outside of Cathedral, I would not have a chance to tell you what my prediction would be. There's just a lot of talent across the state. It's great to see.
Coach Nico Morris, once again, the setter for Northrop. Last year, because she was listed as one of the 5 players to watch in this area heading into the season.
Yeah.
But last year she had 546 assists, 71 digs, 69 aces, and she was named first team All-SAC and was all Northeast Indiana honorable mention. So she's a special player in her own right.
She is. She does, again, just a great job. She's an all-around, very skilled player. She can pass the ball as well as she can set the ball. She serves well. And she just reminds me of a tradition of great setters that Northrop has had over its long reign and long tenure in the sport of volleyball. Just seems to produce some very quality setters over its lifetime.
Jackie Quade's hit there just missed the end line as the point did go to Northrop. 17-8 is your score. Looked like that was a dump attempt there by the setter for Carroll. As Lady Chargers will get the point. That was number 6, Ellee Ruskaup. Once again, entering this match with 409 assists.
That's a lot of assists in a short season so far. So
she's one of the players on this team, Coach, that has played in all 38 sets.
That's usually what you're going to see out of your setter. They're asked to do a lot and play a lot, and they better be in shape because it's a long season.
She, along with Ellee Ruskaup, Ellee Ruskaup, Jacqueline Quade, Kate Novack, and Cassie Till with 35 sets played, but all have played 38 sets on the season, so they do not leave the floor very often. Quade, and that's got to be very intimidating if you're on the other side of the net, Coach.
Well, they run a nice quick set into the third ball zone, into zone 3 on the net, and the right side attacker, blocker doesn't see it coming, so she is unblocked going on a quick set. That's a little intimidating for your back row for sure.
This is Cassie Till with the serve. She's just a junior at 5'6". She also is a setter. She's played in 35 sets on the season. So she's a versatile player. As Ruskaup gets it up, set goes to Quade. Beautiful, Coach. A little bit deception there as it looked like it was going to go to the middle and it went to the outside to Quade.
Absolutely. Stack them up in zone 4, zone 5. And there's a saying in high school that you never jump with the first, you always jump with the second attacker in that stack. And Northrop decided not to jump with either, and she had a clean kill on that one.
21-8, just 4 points away from taking this first set are the Carroll Chargers. Yeah, nice quick set right there to number 9, Rachel Klitzing with the kill.
It all starts with ball control. I know we've talked setters and hitters, and rightly so, but every ball that Carroll is passing right now gives their setter a chance to run all the offense they want, and you know, right now they're making it look easy. So Northrop's got to find a way to take those setters out of rhythm, and that is some way to make the defense not make such an easy or great pass.
Coach, Ellee Ruskaup, the setter right there for Carroll, kind of unorthodox right there, as that set didn't get up very high, but it worked perfectly.
Yeah, they're running a lot of quick tempo, catching Northrop a little bit on its heels, and there's 2 ways to play volleyball. You can either play with speed or power, and the great teams play with both. So
that was Ruskaup, and a huge hit by Kate Novack.
Nice swing out of the back row, and just gets past the right back there, Nico Morris.
Once again, Kate Novack going to Georgia State for beach volleyball. Till.
Nice short serve, dropped again. Just inside the 10-foot, Northrop a little late to react.
So 24-8, this is set point here in game number 1 of this Tuesday afternoon match. Coming off the hottest week of the year, Coach, and we're in September.
It's unbelievable. I'm not sure what to say about it, but
we're in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Either our calendars are just wrong, or it really just decided to get hot in the fall. I'm not sure what's going on.
Skylar Myers
nice
with the point for Northrop.
Showed a nice cross-court swing, and then reached open and took the ball down the line, and Carroll was nowhere to be found.
Skylar is a junior at 5'9". She's an outside hitter. Jump serve, that was number 6, Abigail Bowman.
That's one of the volleyball serving sins right there. You can't miss match point on your serve. Or set point, my apologies.
So Carroll takes the first set 25-9. Some of the other locally ranked teams, once again in Class 1A, it's Blackhawk Christian. They're at number 11. They are undefeated on the season. I believe that record is at 9-0, but I do not have it in front of me. Bishop Dwenger, Class 3A, is ranked at number 14. Carroll and Concordia out of 4A ranked number 4 and number 7, respectively. And Coach, you know, when you look at Concordia, they almost look like they're a little bit better than last year's squad. Obviously, last year winning their first state championship, I believe it's like in 4 tries. They've got 3 runner-up finishes. But I got to see them play earlier this year, and you can find the broadcast and highlight at SummitStateSports.com, but they took on Belmont. Belmont is very impressive, but they've already got losses to Bishop Dwenger on the year. They opened the season up. I think Concordia got them in 3 sets.
Yeah. Belmont's a little, they're missing a couple hitters right now, and you know, Belmont will get things squared away. But to your point of Concordia, I just think they're a little deeper this year than they were. I mean, it was the Tiana Williams show there, and rightly so. Very talented player up at Wisconsin doing her thing up there. But Erica and Miss Wright and Kara, and they just, I think, have a little better mix or blend, or I should say it this way, they have to rely on one player less than they had to last year, and that just makes them more dangerous. You're not sure who you can stop when you're going to face Concordia. And of course, Trish does an excellent job as a coach, preparing her team, getting them to play at the highest level. And so, you know, I'm not surprised to see them ranked, that they're that high already in 4A with the success factor. That's pretty impressive. And again, it speaks a lot to the respect that the state of Indiana has for the Fort Wayne volleyball community, with ranked teams in almost every class.
Well, just as you said, Concordia, they now move up to Class 4A after the success factor. They advanced to the state finals in 2013 and 2014. Last year, they beat Belmont in the Final Four to make it to the state championship match before winning. And so the cadets last year winning the 3A state championship, now in 4A. Carroll will contend with Concordia in the 4A. Adams Central's now in 2A, Blackhawk Christian single A. They hope to extend their postseason runs. You talked about Erica Shively, a senior at Concordia who's committed to play at IPFW. She's an outside hitter. She was named to the 3A second team All-State. She recorded 237 kills last year, 278 digs, and 19 blocks. Jackie Quade also being named All-State last year, second team in Class 4A. Yep.
And I think, you know, Erica Shively is your odds-on potential winner of the SAC Glass Spike Award winner. Somebody's going to have to put up tremendous numbers, I think, to take that away from her. And she is a very talented player. I thought, you know, we spent some time talking to her, too, at the University of St. Francis, and she turned us down to go to IPFW. I'm not sure what that's about, but...
might have something to do with the D1 status.
Yeah, it could have been, but sweet young lady. She called me yesterday to apologize for not coming to St. Francis, going to IPFW, and I just thought that was super classy. So
big kill by number 9 for Carroll as we get the second set started. That's Rachel Klitzing.
Excellent offense there. Both hitters up on a first tempo, and as a middle blocker, you got to make a choice and just go and hope your outside blockers come and help. And they weren't quite ready for that one in Northrop.
Klitzing back with the serve, listed at 6'2". When you combine Quade, Klitzing, and Katie Claxton, you're going 6'2", 6'2", 6'1".
Yeah.
It's pretty nice to have here at a high school on your volleyball squad.
Absolutely, and that's that is not the tallest team in the state. That just needs to be known. I think right now Cathedral boasts the tallest starting lineup in the state. I haven't done all the numbers, but that's just going to be a great state tournament at the 4A level. It will be at every level, but the 4A just a little bigger, a little faster. And so it's a lot of fun to watch.
Point goes to Carroll, now up 3-0. Coach, as you said, last year we did broadcast all the All-Star matches at Lawrence North High School, the 3A North and South, and then the 1A, 2A, and 3A, 4A matches. Do you see that event taking place again this year at Lawrence North?
Yeah, if it's got Lawrence North, will be probably the only thing that remains to be seen. The ICGSA hosts that event every year. There are more and more all-star events that pop up, but the ICGSA is kind of the endorsement of the IHSAA, and so I fully expect to see that happen again. I look forward to being down there with you and enjoying that match, or those matches, because it's more than just one.
Great, great. It's like you said down there at the All-Star Classic, over 90 young ladies out of the state of Indiana receiving Division I scholarships. I believe that was a year ago, so great point there by Northrop's number 7, Skylar Myers, the junior, active here in this match.
Good arm swing, tools the block. It's a little bit of an inside set, right off the inside hands to the floor. Skylar's got a lot of talent, a lot of potential. He's a good kid too. Boom!
Set goes to Jackie Quade with the kill. Once again, coach, a little bit of deception there as number 13 went up, but the ball eventually making its way to Quade.
Yep, that's why you never jump with the first in high school, because the ball's going to second and she's going to hurt you with it.
And that's number 13, the middle blocker, Makaela Lochmueller. She's just a sophomore at 5'10". Coach Carroll, I'm looking down this list and I'm calling out sophomores and juniors when you would think that they would be senior heavy, but it just speaks to the program that they've established here.
Absolutely. Again, to take that nice blend of senior and upperclassmen experience and start to mix in some of the underclassmen just means it's going to continue to repeat itself. The success is going to come year after year. It doesn't mean they're going to win state titles like a Muncie Burris did for 20-some years in a row, but they're going to be in the conversation for years to come. That's what you want out of a program.
It's number 15 to serve for Northrop. We got a service error, so 7-2 your score now. Carroll on top. Coach, some people thought when Carroll and Homestead decided to join the SAC in football and basketball, you know, why not join for all the sports? But really, if you talk to the Homestead and Carroll people, they're kind of like the opportunity, soccer, volleyball-wise, to expand, you know, to go down and play in the Avon Classic, to go take part in the Kokomo Invitational, where they're taking on teams like Avon, Carmel, Hamilton, Southeastern. It really, if you don't see that kind of competition in the regular season, it could sneak up on you in the postseason.
Absolutely, and I think that's also one of the things I think that Carroll has done really well with their scheduling is that they've been able to, with the freedom of not having a mandatory conference schedule, to go out and play some of these teams that they know they're going to have to see at the regional, they know they're going to run into in semi-state and state, and it does. It just helps them. It prepares them to be in that pressure cooker environment where every point could cost you a chance to win a state title. And so I think it's a great job by Carroll. You know, you're sad that some of these kids won't get all conference awards and, you know, they can't win a conference championship because right now they're both independents. But, you know, for some of their sports, it does make a little bit of sense. And I know it's more travel and it's harder, but these are great schools with great coaches, and they'll make the most of the situation they're in.
Ellee Ruskaup with the serve there for Carroll as the set goes to the outside. Weems point to the Chargers, 8-3 your score.
That's a Carroll block is an intimidating thing, and when you're an outside hitter there, you've got to decide whether you're going to go into the block, over the block, or trying to round it. And Northrop's still trying to go around a little bit and making a couple of hitting errors, but it's just a lot to ask out of your hitters.
So Carroll's obviously taking on Northrop today. They're at Belmont tomorrow, a great match there, Coach.
Yep.
And then I talked about Black Hawk Christian. That's not this Thursday. That's actually September the 29th at Black Hawk Christian, a match to look out for. They will also take on Homestead on October the 1st, so that's a rivalry match for them. Always a big match there. Before finishing up October the 15th here against Concordia. So a lot of good volleyball still to be played in the area for the Lady Chargers.
Yep, it is. If you haven't watched them play, you've got to find an opportunity to come watch them. Concordia, Homestead, obviously 2 matches on the schedule that would be great to come watch. Big in-town rivalry with both of those schools, but you know, they're a really quality team at the state level, and you got to come see them play.
Great shot there by Weems as she was trying to find a hole in the defense. It does result in a point for Northrop.
Change of pace, forced a little net violation by Carroll, trying to reach for that block just a little too much. Brushed the net on the way down.
Coach, obviously over at St. Francis now, you've been in the high school scene in Fort Wayne. You also coached at Taylor University in Fort Wayne. But right away, you've got 2 Carroll Chargers on your squad. They're both seniors.
Yes.
In Rachel Weaver and Morgan Hansen. What kind of, are they just, program players? Are there players you don't have to worry about? Just great, get along with all the girls?
Absolutely. They came in, they got there before I got there. I can just speak about my experience with them both in high school and then the last 2 years, or this season, last season at St. Francis. But they're just quality kids. First of all, they're very intelligent. They know the game very well. They know what's expected of them. They work hard. They play at a great pace. So, I told Matt McCarter on my way in here, one of the coaching members of Carroll, it's time for another Charger on the St. Francis roster because both those young ladies graduate this year. He said he would try and help us, but it hasn't happened yet.
And you were hoping Katie Claxton, number 8, would be that Charger.
Yeah.
On that last point for Northrop, that was Abigail Ballman, just outstanding.
Great.
13-6 your score right now.
Great serve by Kelsey Bear, little top spin, drops that in for the ace. Kelsey's been an excellent libero at Northrop here for the last 2 or 3 seasons, doing a really nice job.
Big hitter on that serve. Back-to-back aces, once again for number 12, Kelsey Bear, listed at 5'5", the senior.
Don't see a lot of top spin jump serve anymore. Everybody goes with the jump float, so takes you a little bit of a time to realize where that ball is going to, and she got 2 of them in for an ace, one long, one short. Nice job mixing it up.
Coach, we actually saw that at the All-Star Classic last year. I believe it was a girl out of the region that was just killing it with those serves.
Yeah, a young lady from up by the Lake Michigan. I can't remember exactly what high school she was from, but just tore everybody up with a jump serve. So we just saw a young lady at Lewis Clark State out in Lewiston, Idaho that had one of the best jump serves I've seen in a long, long time, and she hurt everybody with it. It was unbelievable. Just a fantastic serve. Hit it with pace and spin.
Going back and with the serve right now, that is Nico Morris, the senior setter, over 500 assists a year ago. Coach, going back to Rachel Weaver, last year I believe at one point she was leading the Crossroads League in service aces. What is it that she does that allows her to accumulate those?
Yeah, excellent. She has a nice, the opposite of the topspin jump serve, she has a nice jump float, and that ball moves a lot. It goes up, down, left, right, and she will be returning to the serving rotation tomorrow. She injured herself in our preseason scrimmage, and we just got her back and healthy and feel good about her playing abilities and time, and so we're looking for her to hurt some opponents tomorrow night.
Coach, is that kind of the equivalent of a knuckleball then?
Yeah, exactly, Jeff. That's an excellent way to describe it. The ball knuckles and dips and dives and floats all over the place, and you're just not sure where it's going to end up.
That was Brianna Phillips with a huge block at the net for Northrop, but the point will go to Carroll on the double hit.
Yep. Got to have offense if you're Northrop. It's 16-9, so at this point your back's a little bit against the wall. You got to kind of just bite the bullet and start swinging away. And if you make an error, you're going to make an error. But you're not going to find empty spots and empty holes against Carroll. So you're going to try and have to beat them and tool blocks and beat defenders with an arm swing. Just got to swing away.
This is Abigail Ballman with the serve. Brianna Phillips, just a junior, listed at 5'9½", really had to rise up there to get that block on Quade a few points ago. So that was tipped out of bounds. Point does go to the Chargers, 17-10 here in set number 2.
Definitely a height advantage for Carroll, and they're just making it an obvious difference all over the volleyball court. This is a good set by Nico Morris there, but Carroll digs up the arm swing.
And a huge kill. That was number 11, Kate Novack.
Yeah, left-hand swing out of the right side. Block, forgot for a moment she was left-handed, just brings it down the line inside the block and inside the left back defense. So
And we have a timeout going to be called by Northrop and Coach Scott Shipman. Coach, you spent some time at Northrop as head coach. Did you know Scott Shipman at the time?
Did. He was head coach at Bishop Luers for a while, then took a year or two off, and I left Northrop, and he was the Scott that replaced the Scott. And a little bit different coaching styles, a little different philosophies. Does a really nice job. He's a good coach, well-respected, qualified coach. So it's a good mix for him, and I think he's done a nice job helping the program turn itself back around. We went through some long days at Northrop when I was there, so it's good to see them start to have a little bit more success.
Now, does he work with you? You're a part of the Summit City Wave. I believe you're one of the directors of the Summit City Wave. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have a volleyball club in town, just like it seems that everybody else has a volleyball club in Fort Wayne right now. But Summit City Wave, we do our club's a little bit different focus. We intentionally target multi-sport athletes. We intentionally target athletes from some lower income situations, and we've got a really quality coaching staff. More and more of the young ladies from St. Francis are getting involved, and it's a great experience. We're glad to run it. Scott runs his own club. He's runs Performance Plus Volleyball Club here in town. So, you know, the volleyball club scene in Fort Wayne is deep on the club side. It's deep on the high school side. It all kind of goes together.
How many clubs would you say there are right now in Fort Wayne?
I don't have enough fingers to count them all, and I'm not trying to just be funny. I'm serious. At this moment, I'm not really sure how many we have, but we have more than enough.
And obviously, Loy Ball Squad is Pineapple. A lot of people know of them.
Yep, and here's the funny part. They right now don't exist. Loy, from rumor has it, Loy's going back to Angola, and he's going to run his club out of Angola, and I assume they'll call it Pineapple. And the Pineapple that was in town is still in town, but it's going to be a different name. And there's now Summit Volleyball Club, not Summit City. I don't understand the two comparisons in names. And then there's Fort Wayne Volleyball Club, and then there's Empowered Volleyball Club, and there's the Jorgensen YMCA. Should I keep going or should I stop now?
Well, we can stop because Kate Novack just had a huge kill right there. She's starting to feel it here.
Thanks, Kate.
In this match, no doubt about it.
Yeah, bail me out of the club dilemma. Thanks.
That was number 2, Amy Hosfeld, senior with the serve. Out of the back row, getting it up.
Oh, tried to bounce that ball a little bit too high right there in the middle. Take it off top of the tape, comes back on your side. 4 touches.
That was Lochmueller with the big swing there.
Can't blame her for trying to hit that. She was a little bit unblocked, and that's a crowd pleaser if you get it.
Number 3 with the serve, Haley Klein. And a huge kill. Ari Bollinger, just a sophomore, 5'9" outside hitter.
That's where you just have, you know, Nico's great setter, great athlete, just not the tallest setter on the planet, and it's a little bit easier for hitters to go over top of her, and that's what we saw there.
Coach Bollinger, okay, I was looking at Klitzing, I do believe, number 9.
That's great.
And
serve.
she's a junior, but you know, kind of reminds you of Jacqueline Quade a little bit when you see her out on the floor.
Yeah, they're both long and they're both lean, and a little bit similar hair color. I think Jackie's got a little tanner look right now.
21-13 your score with Carroll on top here in set number 2. With the serve, it will be Ellee Ruskaup.
Haley Klein getting in the match for Northrop. Give her a couple swings. So 22-13 Carroll.
Coaching Cathedral, hands down the team to beat in 4A.
In my opinion, you know, I don't get down there to Indianapolis and watch too much, but my coaching colleagues in high school are saying that they are the ones. So, you know, we'll see. It's a long year. You know, most of these teams are one injury away from being less talented, like all of us. So, you know, you never know what's going to happen from the start of the season to the end of the season. We'll just play it out and see who wins. But
that was Kate Novack with another kill. Carroll up 23-13. Indianapolis Cathedral is the number 1 ranked team in 4A, having received 80 votes. Coming in at number 2 in 4A is Brownsburg High School. They've got 62 votes. Hamilton Southeastern in at number 3 with 58 votes. Carroll with 50 votes at number 4. And once again, it was Hamilton Southeastern that handed Carroll their only loss on the season. And they took it 2 sets to 0.
And it's still early in the year, so those teams will get a chance to see each other again at some point. You would hope, you'd love to see that happen, but that means they've both made a deep run somewhere in the state tournament.
Haley Klein with the serve, the junior at 5'9". Opposite hitter and a nice, and coach, they're going to call a carry there.
Yeah. She got that ball a little bit behind her, and Mr. Official decided she carried that ball a little too long on the throw.
So Klein, once again, we are at set point, 24-15. Set goes behind this time to Novack. Hits it so hard, just bounced right off of Kelsey Bear. And that's going to be it, 25-15 here in the second set as Carroll goes up 2 sets to 0.
That's just a little bit difference in the talent right now. Carroll takes an out-of-system ball where their setter is 10, 11, 12 feet off the net, sets it to a right side back row attacker that just drives the ball hard into the back row. Northrop isn't able to play it up.
Coach Adam Central in 2A, also listed in the top 10 in the state. Not a whole lot of 2A schools in this area, Lures.
Right.
You got Dwenger in 3A, but Concordia now with the success factor up in 4A. Those are some of the smaller schools in the city of Fort Wayne, so it gives an opportunity, I would say, for the outside schools, the ACAC type schools, right. And you do see Adam Central there.
Right. Adam Central is a perennial powerhouse. I mean, every year in 2A in that region, in their conference, they're a really strong program. And then you get that section of schools kind of between Fort Wayne and Muncie. They fall into the 1A, 2A. There's really good volleyball there. And then from Muncie south to Indy, you get a couple other 1A, 2A schools. And so there's different parts of the state where just because of population, volleyball is still really good. Generally, it might be a little shorter, but it's still really, really good volleyball. And
there's no doubt about it that Muncie might be one of the top volleyball spots in the whole state, it seems like.
In the whole country.
In the whole country.
It is
Muncie,
no doubt.
Munciana?
Munciana Volleyball Club, Muncie Wave Volleyball Club, our sister club down there. They both produce great talent. And there are people coming from all over the area, even other states, to participate in both those clubs. And Delaware County is the volleyball capital of the state of Indiana. Now, the people in Indianapolis, if they're watching to see what Carroll's up to, are going to have a little beef with me. But for a population size of Muncie, to see what they produce, both on the state level, on the club level, it's a very impressive thing that they have going on in Delaware County.
Well, and I know Taylor Bebout, the junior setter, at, I believe, 5'11" out of Belmont. Well, she's committed to Western Kentucky, which is a top 20 program, I believe, in D1. That's what her dad was telling me. She's All-American out of that Munciana AAU program.
Yeah, there's a young lady by the name of Katerina DiBiasio that's an All-American out of the Munciana volleyball program.
And what high school does she play for?
She is at, you would ask me, and I'm going to forget right now. Actually, I don't want to tell anyone because we're recruiting her heavily and we're going to try and get her. So I forget I said her name. Her name is not Katerina DiBiasio, but she is tearing it up down there in the Munciana area. Comes off of a sprained ankle, gets like 22 kills and 30-some digs in a match. You're just like, that's impressive stuff. So, but yeah, that whole segment of the state of Indiana really good right there. And, you got great coaches there, too, that have been doing it for a long time, and they keep passing on their knowledge to the next wave of coaches, and you're starting to see that transition, and you think at some point there's going to be a tradition that kind of gives way or falls apart, but it doesn't. It just keeps growing and growing and growing, and I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
Coach, it all starts with the coaching, no doubt about it, and there's just, you see it with the great programs. You see the coach that's established, that's been there, or you see the program that's been built and has been passed down, as Carroll's going to open up this set, 1-0 lead. Ace there by number 2, Amy Hosfeld.
Nice, beautiful serve, nice little float on it. Knuckles away from the passer, falls for the ace.
And Coach, you know, you talk about the great programs and the coaching. A lot of that is just structure, discipline, doing the right things over and over again so that when you're on the floor, it becomes reactionary as opposed to really thinking about it.
Yeah, it has to become rote memory. If you process it too long, the other team is ahead of you. And if they're ahead of you, they're going to beat you. So
beautiful play at the net by number 8, Katie Claxton. Just got her hands over it and threw it down, Coach.
Yep, she's a force to be reckoned with. I'm really curious what Illinois is going to do with her. So it'll be something to watch and pay attention to. And again, the Big Ten is so deep right now in women's college volleyball at Division I level. But just another example of what Jackie Quade and Claxton are able to do. You know, it's a great set, great approach by Miss Phillips, but the block is there and puts it straight on the court.
Well, I was actually kind of surprised going over Carroll's stats, as you can find them at maxpreps.com. But Jackie Quade, not a whole lot of blocks on the season, but that was a monster kill that exploded up into the cheap seats here.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of blocks, but everything else, she just fills the stat sheet, Coach. 24 aces, 93 digs, 161 kills that leads the Carroll Lady Chargers.
She'll be asked. She'll have to block better at the next level. You know, sometimes the right side attackers in high school are left out of the offense just because of ball control and some other things. But she's definitely capable of blocking. There's no doubt about that.
Carroll's on a run here, up 5-0 now to start this match.
Yeah, I love what Northrop's doing. I hope they don't stop. You know, they're at least attacking the ball. They're trying to put up a good block, almost like there's no fear in what Carroll can do. But as the pace quickens, that really kind of gets into Carroll's sweet spot, and they're going to have a little bit more flow to their offensive game. So it's just it's a tough night for anybody that plays Carroll. I don't care who they are. It's going to be a tough night.
It's Claxton in the middle for the Chargers. Set goes over to Quade with the dump shot. Coach, it almost looks like she made that decision in the air to switch to the dump shot.
Yeah, she got a little late on the attack, so she couldn't necessarily swing away at it anyway, but the Northrop block bails her out, jumps with her, and then she just is able to dump the ball right over top. It's really important as a blocker to wait, hold that position, see what the hitter is going to do. You want to make her commit before you commit.
6-0, Carroll on top.
A good swing by Taylor O'Reilly. Puts the ball right through the block.
O'Reilly, a junior at 5'10½", outside hitter. Back to serve it will be Abigail Ballman. Bishop Dwenger, as we noted earlier, a ranked team in the area at number 14. They did open up the season with a win against Belmont, but then lost in straight sets to Concordia, which Concordia went on a run of, I believe, like 15 straight sets without a loss.
Yeah.
Might even be better than that. They do have one loss on the season now. 6-2 is your score with Carroll on top.
Yep, a little bit of a hitting error by Jackie, but, you know, she made a decision. I'm going to swing away at a set that's 6-8 feet off the net versus just rolling it into coverage. And it's a good decision. She just missed a little long. Nice combination play. Oh, it's a great get. Beautiful defense by Northrop, but can't play the first pancake touch well enough to get offense out of it, so point goes to Carroll.
So Concordia's only loss came against Delta on August the 29th, and that was a 2-0 loss there, Coach.
Well, Delta is the favorite in their class size. Everybody's talking about Cathedral, and Delta is kind of like sure things. Again, we'll see, but that's another program who just continues to be good in their high school.
So we got a great rally going on right now.
Love it. Northrop's just swinging away. I'm really excited to see that.
That was Amy Hausfeld out of the back row that had the save there. Kill to the Lady Chargers as they're up now 8-2.
Yeah, it's great swings by Northrop in that rally, and Carroll's able to dig it, and then eventually somebody has to score that point. Jackie finishes it.
Delta High School out of 3A, I believe, and right now they're currently ranked in the top 10. Yorktown's ranked number 1 in 3A, Providence at number 2. Northview, who lost to Concordia in the state championship last year, comes in at number 3. You have Indianapolis Cardinal Ritter, Brownstown, and Delta.
Yeah, all those teams are perennial. Providence is a two-time 2A state champ, so they had the success factor up into 3A, and here they are ranked in the top 5. So
that was Nico Morris with the beautifully placed dump shot, 9-3 your score.
That's what she does really well there. She gets her hands up, shows the defense the ball. You think she's going to set it, and she just drops that right shoulder and puts it over top of the net.
Out of the back row, just gets into the body there of number 2, Amy Hosfeld, a senior. I'll tell you what, Carroll certainly is battle tested at this point in the season, where a majority of the teams have, 8 matches under their belt, maybe 12, and Carroll comes in today with a 13-1 record, already 14 matches.
Well, that's the benefit of having the opportunity to schedule so many out of conference. You can go to a tournament and play 4 games kind of early, and then if you set your schedule right, you can take some breaks. And I don't mean take it easy, but rest some players as you get into those key moments of the season, especially towards the postseason. So I think you're going to see more and more and more high schools do that.
And the set went over to Jackie Quade. And she threw it down big time, Coach, with the kill. I mean, that had some mustard on it.
That's absolutely right. The quick tempo combination play, one hitter in front of the setter, one hitter behind, and Northrop just isn't exactly sure what to do with that ball.
That was Emma Ruskaup right there with the dig. She also set up that big kill by Quade as she gets number 2 in a row, 11-5 your score.
Tools off the block. Nico tries to dump again, and Carroll said, nope, we've seen that once. It's not going to happen twice. That's what good teams do. They take away the things you like to do and make you try something else.
Coach, St. Francis Lady Cougars with a home opener tomorrow.
We are road weary also. It's going to be good to be home.
You've been out to Idaho and all over the place, huh?
Yeah, we went out to Chicago opening weekend, had a great experience out there. Carrie Clark was just named MVP of that tournament.
That was the Robert Morris tournament?
Yeah, the Robert Morris Invitational. Really excited for her to be named MVP. Then we came back and we hit the road for Lewiston, Idaho, and had a great experience out there. But woo! I'll tell you, the West Coast and the NAIA right now is playing at a different level than the rest of us, so we got some catch-up to do.
Well, that was a great dig by Ballman for Northrop off that serve, and a huge block kept alive as the Bruins were getting pretty excited.
Yeah, they thought that was down. I thought it was down too. Great dig by Carroll.
Quade with a bump over the net as Morris sets it up. Nice shot, number 7, Skylar Myers.
Nice job, Skylar. Runs a little slide from the outside hitting position, so she's able to turn that ball back down the line. And Carroll was not home for that arm swing.
Coach, in the NAIA, you said the Midwest has some making up to do. What do you attribute the success factor of the majority of those West Coast teams? I mean, this is a game played that's indoors, so you can't really point to the nice weather.
Yeah, and I mean this honestly, I haven't quite figured out why we're a little bit behind. I do know this, like we talked about, the strength of Indiana producing quality volleyball talent, and with the Big Ten having so much success, all those kids want to go and play Division I in the Big Ten. And you've got some places in Montana and Kansas and Wyoming and Idaho where there are less Division I schools around. Those kids are taking the best offer kind of closer to home, so I think that's some of the factor, and that's all I can attribute it to right now.
That was number 5, Mackenzie Snyder, getting the point. Only a sophomore at 5'9½", a middle hitter for the Lady Bruins.
It's not always about the size in the fight. It's about the fight and the size.
And we've named this young lady's name, Kate Novack, a few times as she gets the kill. With the assist was Emma Ruskaup.
She hits a really heavy ball. That ball is moving with pace. It's also moving with power. You watch defenders try and pass that ball, and they don't really want to stand behind it.
That was Ellee Ruskaup with the serve. Hard to handle.
Yep.
She gets the ace.
Ball dips down, gets into Kiana's hands a little bit, and she's just not able to play that up. You know, though, Jeff, that's exactly why we went out west. It wasn't to see forest fires. It was to see some see where we had to go, and we're really excited to come back and get into regular schedule and conference play. So,
well, the Crossroads League, you know, perennially known to have good teams like a Bethel College or Indiana Wesleyan, Taylor University. Do you see those three as being the top three in the league, or is St. Francis creeping up there?
Oh, we're definitely creeping up. We're preseason number 3, and so we were really excited about that ranking. I didn't expect to hold it after the preseason we were going to have, and we haven't. I think we've dropped down to 5th or 6th, but Indiana Wesleyan's still on top. Taylor's right there. The team that I'm most concerned about this year, obviously you're worried about Indiana Wesleyan and Taylor, but Mount Vernon Nazarene, clear over, and I don't know where Ohio is. I think they've got a pretty special group right now. So
yeah, Mount Vernon, Ohio, right by Columbus, I believe.
I know it's a long drive from here. I know that. 3 hours and 15 minutes, I think it is.
That last kill for Carroll was Tegan Rowley. Point this time is going to go to Northrop. Rowley with 33 kills entering today's match. She's a senior, 5'6". Rowley wears number 4 down on the floor.
It's good, consistent talent. You start to see why Carroll's setters are having so many assists. They can put the ball anywhere they want. And
Novack doing it again.
And Novack just goes hard cross court.
Kelsey Bear she had good positioning there. Shot was just about 2 feet to her right, but almost looked a little bit stunned by just the velocity. Or
well, I mean, you're relying on your block to take away something. There's 30 feet across that court, and your block has to be responsible to stop the ball from going somewhere. And when your block isn't up, when your block isn't tall enough, that makes your job as a defender that much harder. You don't know whether to go left or right or forward. And so you just get a moment of hesitation, and with a girl like Novack, that ball is past you before you know what's going on. So.
Quade's going to send it on over nicely for the Lady Chargers. Morris with a great set and a kill by number 9, Taylor O'Reilly, the junior.
Side, she's going to swing away and tools that ball nicely off the outside hand down for a point. It's good arm speed. It's a good contrast. Taylor hits a quick ball, and Miss Novack hits what we call a heavy ball. And there's just different styles of arm swings out there.
Coach, and if you look at that last serve there by Morris, that's going to be hit.
Nice play by defense, by Northrop on defense. Oh!
Rowley once again with another kill.
That's one of those excuse me kills. I'll bounce this off the tape and it'll fall in for a kill, but that happens.
There's Nico Morris on that last serve. She's about 8-10 feet away from the end line there.
Yeah, it gives the ball more chance to move. You have to hit it a little harder from 10, 12 feet back, and it just makes it move harder and faster. It's a challenging serve, to say the least.
Osfeld now with the serve for Carroll. Sent over, Quade. That was a quick hit by number 8, Claxton. Novack into the net. Point to the Bruins. 20-11 is your score. 9-point advantage for the Chargers here in set number 3. Carroll up 2-0. Abigail Ballman, sophomore with the serve.
Good hand pass. Oh, nice setter dump from Carroll Chargers. When you got Jackie Quade running in front of you, and you've got, I don't know, who was that, Claxton running behind you, it's tough to decide what you're going to do as a defense. And they forgot that the setter could just dump the ball across the net.
Emma Ruskaup.
A swing by Kelsey Bear out of the back door.
Point goes to the Bruins. 21-12 is your score. The setter for Carroll, Emma Ruskaup, once again entering today's match. 409 assists in 38 sets. It just seems like a lot.
That is a good average. We'll put it that way. But again, I mean, you've got 5 options generally out there on the volleyball court, and they can all put the ball away. So.
There's 15 with the serve for Northrop. Set goes to Quade. Coach, she rises up so high.
Quick leaper, but just a great example. That ball gets served off the top of the net cord. Carroll moves underneath it, puts a pass right on their setter's hand. She jump sets, and she's got Jackie Quade coming quick in front of her, and somebody coming quick behind her. And it's a lot to ask your defense to be able to handle.
Once again, it's the setter, Ellee Ruskaup, senior at 5'8", with the serve, 23-12. Lofty serve, does get over the net. Novack was there to throw it right back at the Lady Bruins.
Absolutely, they got Northrop guessing. They've served them long all day, and now they're serving them short and inside or at the 10-foot line, and just create a couple overpass situations for Carroll, and they like to see those.
Picked up in the back row by the libero, Kelsey Bear. Ruskaup over to Novack once again, and the hits keep coming as Carroll's going to get the sweep over Northrop, 3-0, taking the third set, 25-12. They won the first set, 25-9, and set number 2, 25-15. Coach, your thoughts on today's match? Obviously, Carroll coming in as the number 4 team in Class 4A, never an easy test.
No, they were not really tested tonight. You know, you like what you see out of a young squad still at Northrop and their growth and maturation, but there's just too much power, too much dominance, and too much experience on the Carroll Chargers side. And some hype doesn't hurt either.
Well, folks, we're going to head down and try to get you some interviews. On behalf of Sky Haddix, my name's Jeff Mahoney, Tim Atkinson on the camera. Thanks for joining us, SummitCitySports.com.
Good evening. I'm here with Katie Claxton, senior at Carroll High School, and you guys are off to this phenomenal start. You're ranked fourth in 4A in the state of Indiana. Tell me how the start of the season has gone and what you think of things so far.
So far, we've had a great season. Last weekend at Avon, we had a great weekend and came out and really played our best and beat some teams we weren't expected to beat. And we've had a few ups and downs, but I think overall we've had a great start.
Your ups and downs and my definition of ups and downs might be two different things. You guys have lost one match all season, is that correct?
Yep.
You beat Carmel, the defending 4A state champ. Mm-hmm. You beat Avon, who was the previous to Carmel, the 3-time defending state finalist and champ. So describe an up and a down then.
I would say our ups have been like coming together and really playing as a team. We know that we're talented and we know that we can be a great team when we play that way. And I would say the downs are just when we don't, we have a lot of times where we just don't come together and we'll almost give up on each other and not play our best.
So you guys are a well-oiled machine, and you know when that machine isn't running quite as smoothly as you want it to, and you'd consider that a down. And that's a sign of a great team that has a potential to make a really long run. So I got to ask you about a down. You were a part of the team last year that lost in the semi-state. How do you think that helps you for this year?
Really, I would say be prepared for anything. We went into the match almost expecting to win because we had beat them previously, and I guess we were a little cocky, and that's just one thing we can't do. We need to always expect our opponent to bring their best, and we never know what they're going to bring.
Absolutely. I think that's an excellent statement, and I know that's something Doug's going to be teaching and talking about all year. It's so easy in high school to kind of take someone for granted or take them lightly, and I don't think you guys will repeat that mistake. So tell me about the future. Where are you headed? Where are you going to go after high school? What do you want to study? Give me anything like that on your future, and then we're going to talk to your head coach here, Mr. Helsum.
I've looked into schools pretty much all over Midwest and East Coast, and I'm looking to study chemistry, maybe go to med school, but other than that, I don't have plans.
All right, so if you're a college coach out there and you need a very talented middle who maybe could go right side, left side, any decisions on what position you like to play in college?
I've actually always been a middle. I've played a little bit of outside and right side. Really, I just like to play. I'm open to anything.
What do you say to your team after a match like tonight?
Good job of staying focused, good job of trying to generate their own energy and so forth. Obviously, coming off the weekend they came off, we anticipated a little bit of an energy change, so they rode through that a little bit and stayed focused and were able to take care of business the way they needed to tonight. So.
Excellent, and love to watch your offense, putting a lot of tempo in your offense, putting a lot of combinations in your offense, and in a match like tonight, is that easier to get girls to work on, try, or is that just something that Carroll is doing every time out?
We're working hard to do that every time out. We're focusing as much as we can on ball control in order to do that regardless of who the opponent is. So trying to pick up the pace of the game to try to break up that block so that we can take advantage of our bigger hitters, but also take advantage of all 3 hitters all the way across the front row to try to exploit those matchups whenever we can to try to single out those blocks. So we're trying to push the pace of the game, trying to set up those tempo options, and then when we have the ball control to do so, it makes things hopefully a little bit easier for our bigger hitters.
Excellent. Ball control definitely was very good tonight, and able to run your offense. So you go down to Avon this past weekend. You play the defending 4A state champ. You play the other 4A state champ in years previous to that in Avon, Carmel, the defending state champ, and you come out on top. Only have one blemish all season against Hamilton Southeastern. Tell me about your start.
We're very, very pleased with where we're at. We're learning. We're growing each week as what any coach would hopefully like. This weekend was a huge test for where we are. We learned a lot along the weekend. The thing that we learned the most is that we're able to make adjustments because at that level of play with that kind of size and that kind of options that you're playing against, if you can't adjust, you're going to get hurt. So we learned very quickly we need to adjust, and the kids did a great job of adjusting on the fly, making adjustments during the match to try to exploit certain matchups on the other side, but defensively having to adjust against those kind of hitters, they did a great job of adjusting. But it really came down to intensity of defense and ball control once again. When we were able to ball control, we were able to get the ball to obviously certain hitters, which we have certain hitters that can do the job against those kind of teams, but it enabled us to break up that block and give us better matchups up front. But the defensive intensity and the ball control was the difference this weekend and enabled us to stay with those kind of teams.
That's excellent. Do you think the experience of last weekend, going down and playing and beating two defending state champions at the 4A level, does that give the girls a little better focus or a little more confidence going into postseason? I know we're a long way off from postseason, but at some point you have to start to believe that you can. Does you think this weekend helps with that?
We try to set our schedule up to try to play some of the best teams in the state, to try to set our options up so that they can see the best teams in the state and understand either you're going to play well against them and see what you have, or you're going to get beat by the best teams in the state to understand what you have to work on for the future. So hopefully after playing this weekend, and especially playing a team like Assumption out of Louisville, Kentucky, playing against that kind of defense and that kind of size, as well as Avon and Carmel and Newcastle, gives them a very, very good understanding of what they're up against as far as the postseason options, and hopefully they do have a better understanding of what it's going to take, the intensity that's going to take, and more importantly, the leadership and pressure that they're going to have to play with and under in order to be successful, hopefully deep into the postseason this year. So.
I'll ask you one more question and let you go hang out with your team. You are non-conference, you're an independent this year, and how are you taking advantage of that opportunity?
It's a very different experience because our seasons in the past have always been set up by goals of getting through certain aspects of the season to get to conference and then past conference. So we're trying some different things to try to keep the kids focused, to try to keep the kids looking towards the future as far as what the postseason is all about. And so far the kids have been working extremely hard in practice, and obviously so far it's translated to decent play on the court. So we're hopefully to keep working and growing as a group and see where we end up.
Well, Doug, you know that I think that you want to run a great program, and I congratulate you on the start, and we'll look forward to seeing you postseason with a long, deep run. So,
thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carroll Chargers head coach, Mr. Doug Helsum, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.